sound of the Wu, you know, it's like when you first heard reggae, when you first heard those tapes in your crib, you know what I mean? When Mr. Magic came on the radio on WBLI at 4 in the morning, you stayed up, you tried to get your dial. Hip-hop got that appeal, and the raw, the better. You know what I mean? You start getting it too clean and the New Jack Swing and all that hip-hop, it was cool, but it wasn't that grungy. And I think with Wu-Tang also was more like, you're looking at 9 dudes, somebody got behind you or somebody from your project. I think that helped us out a lot because there was just so many different chambers and flavors. When we first came into business, a lot of labels was like, it ain't gonna happen, it'll never sell, you too hardcore, it won't work. I'm telling you guys, you know what I mean? But I knew that it would work. And then we had one label that was like, okay, we'll make a deal with y'all, but we want the whole group, sign the whole group for like a couple $100,000. And it was like, with this many dudes, that ain't gonna last much long, you know what I mean? So I was like, nah, we gotta figure a way to, as we sign as a group, but at the same time, we're able to go and get other deals to make sure our money pot is growing and we can feed you know, all of us. And so I came with a plan. Okay, we're signed to this label as Wu-Tang, but then we'll take the solo deals and we'll shop them around the industry, you know what I mean? You know, I was the president of Wu-Tang Production, you know what I'm saying? So more likely, the artists keep their half of their money, you know what I mean? But the part that was coming in, so if Ghost got a deal, Ray got a deal, Meth got a deal, Dirty got a deal, that's a lot of money coming into the company. So they keep their money, but the money of the company is growing, and that take care of the other guys who still waiting.
I smoke all the like smoking Joe Frazier, the Hellraiser, raising hell with the flavor.
Not only was it getting tour money, but they could come in, yo, you need 50 grand, 100 grand, whatever. It was all good until they got their deal.
And I'll be damned if I let any man come to my center. You enter the winter, straight up and down that shit.
You know, Ghost said this in one interview. He said, when he lost Dirty, he said it's like losing a leg. Now, you can walk without your leg. You get your crutches. I know a guy named Ralph Green, respect to Ralph Green. He's a top Special Olympic skier. One leg, going 80 miles per hour on one leg. You know what I mean? It can be done, but of course you'd rather have 2 legs, you know what I mean? So losing Dirty was like losing that leg, and so it's a struggle to keep that balance. And his element, his ingredient, you know, it can't be replaced. You know what I'm saying? See, I got the Voltron lion ring, you know what I mean? And I felt like we all was like one of the lions of Voltron that formed that whole body.
Yeah.
And maybe Dirty was that blazing sword, you know what I mean? But we still pushing. I think Wu, you know, not only changed hip hop, you know what I mean, but through mathematics and through our way of living and the words we put out there, we probably changed the world more than we recognize, yo. I meet doctors, movie writers, script writers, Wall Street guys walked up to me and just shook my hand like, hey, Wizard, thank you, made me a millionaire. Because they caught the influence and caught that wisdom. So the W in Wu could be for wisdom. You know, before I called it witty, because that was that Island slang, but that W could be wisdom, and the U could be universe. You know what I mean, the wisdom of the universe. There's many ideas, you know, that we infiltrated into the game, from giving brothers ways to entrepreneur themselves out, you know, to start from clothing lines, comic books, video games. Look, there goes something funny. You look at the top movie this year, it's Iron Man. Yeah. And the comic book Iron Man never sold 1 million copies of comic books, but the Ghostface album Iron Man sold 1 million copies.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And that's why you see Iron Man, you see Ghostface in the movie. But it's like we sparked a lot of pop culture back that was gone, that had disappeared, you know what I mean?
Domino effect, arts and crafts, paragraphs contain cyanide. Take a free ride on my dart, I got the fashion, catalog.
You know, there's so many different things we brought to the game and reopen people's minds to things. I think that's real special about us. I don't know if people recognize that, you know what I mean? Even when you see the black, white, Mexican, all these different people coming together into this melting pot of hip hop. Before they wasn't allowed, and Asians didn't feel like they could come and hang around the blacks. A lot of people told me they figured this out like years later. You know what I mean? So it's more like, you know, it's like you gotta experience it to understand it. You know what I mean? So some things you say, you go, I don't know that, like these niggas talking about. But then 2 years later, you go, yo, when Ghost said that, yo? You know what I mean? So that's something special about us, yo.